As you can see, Sophie is not with us today. Sophie is on vacation. So tell
always in
one
our
like,
hearts.
one prayer.
Always
one
in our
like,
heart.
one prayer. Yeah.
Sophie she seems to be having such a fucking good time. I'm so she seems to
I
be having a
know.
blast.
Imagine having fucking mead with the sloth mum Casey explosion.
I didn't know that they were friends, and now I see. So I mean, I don't know. I can't just assume that all the cool people are automatically like friends with other cool people. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it was pretty it's really, I don't know, it's really endearing to see her like be able to hang out with people and have a good time. So Sophie won't be with us. So chat, that will mean that today we have we're one person short. So you might have more of an opportunity to be able to get some of your questions asked and answered. So make sure that you have some questions. I know a lot of you have had questions already like saved up, because today we're going to be met by someone, an organizer from the IWW, the Industrial Workers of the World, the union that we're always nagging you to join. If you don't have like a union like that's already like the union you join. I mean, you can join more than one union. That's never like not a thing. But
yes,
I know that when we were talking about unions in the first episode of Red Planet, a lot of you had a lot of questions, and we tried to answer them, and a lot of you asked me those lots of questions the next day on my stream without the rest of the crew, and I was trying to answer them. But ultimately, I'm not like an expert on organizing, unionization, the IWW, for etc. And so we're going to be joined by Matilda, who's going to be able to answer a lot of those questions for you. So make sure you have your questions saved so you can ask them.
And she's in the chat as well, which is always very nice.
Oh, yeah?
You know.
Oh, yeah, cheers.
Yeah, she's right there, Dalmatianate, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there she is.
Yeah.
Right there at the bottom. So, also, Nicole, can I grab that picture of you?
Yeah, I just posted 3. You can pick whichever one you want.
Okay.
They're loading right now, so.
I'm in I'm in charge of the Red Planet Twitter for this week, I think. So get ready for it to explode.
Is that right? I think
it's gonna pop off. I'm a social media king.
Oh shit! Really?
Pictures are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounded so like sure of that.
I'm really confident about it. Yeah, it's.
I can. Yeah. Kings typically have to tell everyone they're kings. You're like, yeah, by the way, I'm a king.
Yeah, I'm definitely a king.
We have a
definitely
king in our hands. Yeah. By the way, I think the first picture is the best one, because you're all like,
I know,
laughing.
I did, me too. Yeah.
Okay.
And Muel looks funny.
Okay, it's going now. I just.
Okay, good. Hell yeah. Nice. So chat, make sure you follow the Red Planet Twitter account. It's red_planet_TV. You'll get all your sickest, sweetest updates on Red Planet things. And also, if you have a chance to do your homework and you have like an evidence of it, sometimes homework isn't evidence-y. You can't.
Yeah.
But like sometimes if you want to like tell us what you did, or if you want to take a screenshot of your membership, some of you did that when we had that episode about joining a union. Some of you just were like, hey, I joined a union. You blurred your name out, but you showed like the screenshot of like, hey, you welcome, and we'll retweet that. If you want those delicious internet cloud points, hit up the Red Planet Twitter, twitter.com/red_planet_TV, and that's where we're going to be tweeting the go live tweet as well. So that's right. He's working on.
And we also when we go live and stuff like that, like I've just tagged like obviously it's from my tweet, but also tagged Muel, Bunny, and I've also tagged Matilda's Twitter, so go and follow her there as well.
Sweet.
And you can see like our other guests that we've had on as well. You should, like, everyone that we've had on so far is a recommended Twitter follow.
100%. Follow everything.
Yeah. Just keep informed on what's going on. Good. Yeah, sweet. So I wasn't here last week.
Tim, you should probably write the URL where to find us on the tweet, so they know where to go.
Oh, did I?
I don't think they know where to go.
Wait, are you talking to me?
No, I said Tim.
I did the tweet on the Red Planet
I did
one.
the tweet from my own.
Sorry, I was looking at Tim because Tim said he tagged me. Sorry, this is.
I put it in the replies. I put the link in the replies so we get.
We're just like a well-oiled machine.
This is a mess.
It's going really well without Sophie. Sophie's definitely not the linchpin.
We
don't
don't
worry.
need Sophie. I've already said this. How many times have I been like, everyone, guys, we don't need Sophie. Dead weight.
It's definitely not falling apart. It's definitely not
having our first schism. Yeah,
but yeah. So Tim wasn't here last week. We missed you, Tim. We missed you.
Was I always in your hearts?
Yes.
Was I never forgotten?
We never forgot you.
Literally.
All those other things.
Not 1 second.
I think a couple people asked if you died because of the image that we had up. And no, you didn't. Rest assured, Tim is with us right now. It's fine.
Yeah, I came back.
Yeah.
I did. I came back. It's and I came back. I grabbed all my souls. I'm ready to go again.
Nice.
I was in there was a cyclone. Well, I went out of town and then there was a cyclone and then I came back and my power was knocked out for a couple of days. And then just before we went live today, my internet went out. So it's just, it's just all fun and games.
All fun.
That's so frustrating.
So, should we get into the news?
What was the homework for last week? Because I looked in the notes, but it wasn't written in there.
So the homework for last week was to like basically Google yourself, like to basically like try to see if you can like snoop on yourself, right? Yeah, to see if you can snoop on yourself.
Your like digital footprint or whatever.
Yeah. So
okay, that's interesting.
That's like the major TLDR. It was a very detailed homework. There was a lot of details to it, but I do it all the time anyways. I know my chat's very familiar with Googling themselves.
Yeah. It's kind of a thing you have to do really as like a content creator, innit? Because like people can form really parasocial relationships with you. Like I sometimes have people, like some streamers are okay with like people knowing their first names and stuff. But like me, I'm just kind of like, no, don't ask me any questions about that.
That's perfectly valid too. It's really creepy out there.
Yeah. So it's like I think it's funny. It was funny when I think it was like I can't remember who came up with it, but it was like all of us. We all basically like said it. Yeah, that's the best thing to do. And like I just remember thinking like I do that all the time anyway. I've done the homework already.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, I feel like it. I mean, I've Googled myself a couple times, and it usually just comes up with like Twitter threads or like like sometimes when like a news site or something will like embed a tweet that you've made about like some political thing or whatever, like a bunch of shit like that, or even just like my professional like work stuff.
That's never happened to me. I don't think any news has ever embedded anything. They've written New Zealand news is like wild.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, no, it's always like gamer websites like greedy streamer yells again. Like it's just or streamer, something about a wardrobe malfunction. They'll be like, they'll show the image, but they'll blur it out, and it's like it's very dramatic. So I'm like, no, I've never had my words actually.
That's wild.
I think about my words.
I've had a couple where, and I still get every now and then someone will like bring it up or someone will like message me and be like, "Are you this guy?" or whatever. But it's just because the New Zealand news cycle is way different, where it's like they'll make news out of like anything. If it's a slow news day, they'll just go through Twitter and they'll just find like someone with a hot take and they'll be like, "This is like we're pushing this out. This is a story today."
You just described Twitter, though. That's what Twitter is. Twitter is like a bunch of scavengers, like seeking opportunities to just like sensationalize. Even just me being like, I really like eating cereal, and all of a sudden that's gonna be like something offensive. It's
streamer likes cereal, even though she says she's a communist. What? Yeah. How can you want such decadence?
One time it was me tweeting about Tony Hawk's, and I actually ended up going on the TV, on the news about it.
Wait, you've told us about this? Yeah, what was this again? Yeah.
It was just like, because I've like talked about like the kind of like appropriation of our like traditional tattooing and stuff like that before on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And there was one time when they remastered Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, where they put in these like in the tattoos that you can choose for your character, they had like, it was like instead of brown face, it was like poly face or something like that, and it was like like traditional facial tattoos and stuff, and it was just like really like just real corny. And I made a tweet about it, about how like how lame it was.
I remember that tweet. It was like a year or two.
Yeah.
It was something not that
it was
too
like
long ago.
Probably like 2 years ago or something
like that.
And and then it got, then there was like this whole news story blew up because there's like a bunch of other things like that have happened over the years. Other things I've spoken out about, similar things, whatever. And then then this a news show, Te Ao Tapatahi, got in touch with me and were like, hey, do you want to actually come on and talk about that? And I was like, it's kind of like, I don't think it's newsworthy myself, but then a friend of mine, Tina Nata, who is like a really well-known activist and has talked about a lot of this kind of stuff, and like has actually talked about like kind of like a lot about like indigenous people having agency over their own culture and all this kind of stuff like that. And I was like, she's probably gonna have a better conversation than me just talking about like, you know, Tony Hawks or whatever like that. So I was like, I'll go on if my friend Tina can come as well. And they were like, yeah, sweet or whatever. And yeah, and so we just went on, and that was cool. It was Maori news, so it was like, I think like a less of a hostile news environment.
I was gonna say, because it sounded at first like it was just some like Newsweek trying to be like, let's be able to, ugh.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they can be just as like kind of like shitty or whatever, but like in general or whatever. And it was just like this weird thing of like, this is just because like 2 days ago I just tweeted about Tony Hawks and like made some like hot take joke or whatever like that, and now I'm on the news. Yeah, that's like the kind of thing that happens all the time. Okay. But speaking of news, should we talk about some news
that
we're not directly involved with? Yeah, that's a segue. That's news talk.
Do you want
us people that have been on the news before? We know these words.
Whose story is the dogs were going to become cops but instead have been rescued?
Mine.
That's yours. Do you want
to
go
on
first?
My Discord, actually. I was using my chatters not only for their sub money but also for their unpaid labor, and I was like, hey, do y'all know any good news, good leftist news? And one of you linked this. It was dogs that were going to become cops but have instead been rescued.
Ooh,
which is pretty exciting, especially because I'm the official Red Planet vegan.
That's right.
Officially.
Oh, I didn't know you were vegan. You're vegan. Wow.
Yeah, I'm vegan.
Whoa, what?
Yeah,
oh wait, Sophie's
wow.
Where's Sophie? No. Oh my gosh. wait, I got this. I'm gonna fix it. I'm fixing it right now. Oh dear. Oh god. Oh. That was a close one.
Oh geez, Louise. Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking like, you know, like without that picture of Sophie telling us to never forget, how would we know? Like, you know, we might just forget.
Yeah, we might.
That's true. Very good point.
She's not always in our hearts by being on our screen surrounded by hearts.
That's true. By the way, credit to Huskerdu, my mod Huskerdu, for making this image. If you didn't know.
Yeah. Because I was actually desperately Googling how to do "She Will Be Missed" meme before the show, because I thought that we wouldn't have one.
I love this excellent gamer in the corner.
Excellent gamer.
Have you sent her that?
No.
Oh, I mean, you need to send it to her immediately.
Well, she just have to tune into the show to see it.
Sophie, you know, give us that view. Give us that Sophie view.
Come on, Sophie. Yeah, where's the Sophie numbers? That's what I want to
Chat, we're going to be asking you at the end of this stream how you think it went without Sophie. So make sure it can be a scale from 1 to 5. And we're going to be asking you. So pay attention, okay, to like all the things we're doing or not doing, whatever. And, you know, take notes.
Even I can't pay attention to what we're doing.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be here to keep y'all on track, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Here we go.
Appreciate that.
57 Labrador pups have arrived at an animal rescue center all at once, and they're causing chaos, which is very, very cute.
Very loud. That's so good.
Wait, what is this? Oh, here is the is this supposed to be like some sort of, I didn't even watch this video. I just got the story.
Like a movie trailer.
This is
like a slow-mo tail wag.
What the hell?
So these dogs were destined to be like drug and explosive detector dogs used by the police. And so it's really cool. I don't know how exactly this came about. They came from someone with a contract to look after dogs be trained as bomb or drug dogs, but they've decided not to continue with that. So however, whatever, you know, luck of the draw, this is so fucking cute. I love it. Dawn of the Labradors.
Oh, that looks just so fun. Look at all those little puppers.
Oh, little puppy coats and puppy paws and puppy teeth. But yeah, so they're not going to be exploited by cops and probably shot by a cop.
Brilliant.
Which is wonderful news. Yeah. You take them all? All right. Well, you know.
They also like you know, find it really hard to rehome drug dogs and bomb sniffer dogs and stuff like that, right? After the cops are done with them, or am I thinking more of like the attack canine?
Because no one wants to
I don't know. I don't know the story.
Knock on them for their stash.
Yeah, that's it. You're literally just have, a bag of weed in your pocket when you go and check out the dog, and they'll just be like, like just jumping on
this dog will be giving you a dirty look and picking up the phone and hovering his paw over the the one on whatever.
Jeez. So yeah, that's fun news.
Imagine.
Can we get some claps in the chat? Because Sophie's not here, I will be taking the reins, and I would like some bun claps in the chat, or bun.
We get some good boys in chat.
Or good boys.
Yeah. Good boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not a sub, here's the emote that you can use. The one I just put in the chat. If you're a follower, you can use it. Or if you're a sub and you want to use a really derpy version of the bun clap, you can use that one as well. Bun clap. Wow. Great news. Great. Okay. See? Wonderful. Okay. Next. I like how who put this in the notes as good news? Who put this?
Wait, what?
Oh, I restructured it very rapidly before the end because.
Oh, okay. So you didn't mean this is good news that the Queen got COVID. You were like,
no.
I think. No. I mean, it's like.
It depends what you think. You know what I mean? Like, we don't really, what do you call it? We don't like to promote these kinds of views on Red Planet. It's not cool. Well, it's against terms of service to be happy that the Queen might die, I think. So yeah, we don't promote those kinds of views. But Queen's maybe got COVID. I don't know. It's quite an interesting one. Because it's sort of like, so my brain is really bad for this stuff because I just don't believe for a fucking second that they would have let the Queen get in a scenario where she could have got COVID. So I'm kind of thinking like, is this going to be one of those things where it's like, in a week, it's going to be like, oh look, she's fine, and that's
like it's kind of like.
Yeah, so it's not a big deal. Look, the Queen's nearly 100 years old, and she got it, and she didn't die. So you could just like get your gran to go to work again. Get your gran in the mines.
Get back in the mines. Gran.
Yeah, come on, gran. Right. Like, what the fuck?
I think you're going a little far. The idea that the Queen,
she probably got COVID.
She got COVID because I believe she probably got COVID because she's surrounded by a lot of people that probably think they have. Like
a bunch of Tories that don't believe in it.
Yeah, a bunch of Tories that don't believe in it, or a bunch of people with a lot, like very much, like a lot of money, a lot of power, who think, nothing ever is gonna hurt me. So they're probably the types that don't really have the most, if they get COVID, they can just get like the creme de la creme treatment, like Trump got, and then everything's fine. So they don't have to even concern themselves.
This is kind of where I'm at with it. Yeah, this is kind of where I'm at because she will get that treatment. And
it's like how
she
Trump
will be fine.
Yeah, and it sucks.
Yeah,
and it's not sucks that she gets better. It sucks that it's the narrative that's going to come out of it is like, see, it's just like the flu or something. Yeah, the flu kills people too. For the record,
it does. Thank you, because it's so frustrating when people say that. It's like, why the fuck do you think people get recommended to have a flu shot every year? It's like, what do you think this is, man? Mm-hmm. So a very interesting one, and I wanted to bring up as well. This is like the second bit of Queen news that we've had this week because and I think it was this week. It might have been last week actually, so I might be getting confused there. But it's recent Queen news, in that she has used public money. But don't forget, everyone, the Queen gets public money in order to live, as well as other.
All the royals. It's all public money.
It's all public money, and
she doesn't do anything though, right? She just kind of is like a mascot for England. Like
it's kind of like I think that they are obsessed with keeping the Queen in this country because it is such a, I guess it's like a poster for people are in charge and you don't question it. Like, that's it. Like, she's in charge. So are the people in the House of Lords. So are the people in the House of Commons.
I mean, I think that's like a thing. A lot of people, there's like a lot of people that are like, they can feel angry at, politicians or whatever like that, but they believe in the royal family in this way, like, the Queen had never let that happen to us. The Queen's got our back, even though it's like, and so many times the royal family has absolutely not had their back whatsoever,
Never. Actually, never. She always agrees with Parliament, like, whatever it is. She's like, that's fine. There's never been, there's not,
like, I mean, some politicians you could say, like, you know, like, even like a lot of like Tory dickheads or whatever like that, you get some of them where it's like, okay, they do actually see a working class person, even if it's just across the street every now and then. But the Queen is like so far, like her life is so abstracted from a working class person.
It must be so bizarre.
Like, she's got no idea what's going on, you know? She's got no idea what people want or how to, you know, like, or anything like that. So it's like, it's ridiculous to believe that she has any kind of, you know, like, I guess, like, not even that she has sympathies. It's like she wouldn't even know what to sympathize with, you know?
True.
Like,
absolutely, she can't relate to it at all. But yeah, I was gonna go into their alleged sex offender and possible nonce Prince Andrew, her son, has now been receiving from the Queen £12 million of public money in order to defend his case in court.
The case where he has his hands on an underage teen in Epstein's Island.
Yeah, it's that one case. Yeah, it's that one case. Yeah, and she's given him £12 million of public money in order to, you know, defend his case of alleged.
And it's like, I don't think it's.
Can we get some cringe emotes in the chat? I don't. Whatever you want to use. Bun cringe. Any cringe emote. An emote you think is cringe. You know, that's appropriate. Can we get some cringe in the chat? That's extremely cringe. Huge it wasn't not even to defend the case, but to pay her off? What do you mean, Rob Russo of the Rob Russo Show?
Oh, I think Rob might be right here. I think that it was like to do an out-of-court settlement. Let me just Google this real quick.
Yeah.
So 12 million settlement.
Wait, a settlement? So that's like a lot. So he's being sued?
Hang on a second.
Is no criminal?
Would be
there's no criminal.
Prince Andrew. Okay, so yeah, one of the first things that comes up with here is Prince Andrew ridiculed by aides with nursery rhyme after £12 million court settlement. So it appears here. Let's have a little look.
So that's like basically giving the victim money to be like, we're just going to resolve this here and now, right?
Yeah.
Hush,
so that's like. Yeah. So he's not actually gonna, you know, go to have the day in court. He's not gonna get charged with anything or whatever like that. But and usually a lot of them, they come with agreements where it's like, okay, we're gonna settle this now, and you're not actually allowed to talk about it ever again.
Yeah.
You know?
So essentially, you know, obviously we have to say from a legal point on this podcast, you know, live stream, that it is still allegedly a paedophile. But it's why would you give £12 million to someone you've never met? Apparently, or and never, you don't even know, for something that you never did. It's interesting. It's just something to think about.
If you had a good case, if you had nothing to hide or whatever like that, why would that be necessary? Especially if you came from such a powerful family, you had, you know, all this stuff going for you or whatever. Like, man, I imagine there would have to be something you were really scared of to really kind of try and avoid court, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I like, to me, I feel like maybe it's just like, you know, it's like a little thread on your, you know, on the side of your, like on your jumper or whatever like that. You keep pulling it and it keeps coming, and then you know, everything starts unraveling. Like maybe Prince Andrew was just, you know, that case could have been the thread.
Could have been.
I only wear my clothes once and I throw them away, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
And you call yourself a communist.
People that wear clothing like more than once, and then they like it falls apart or something. Threads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking about the our state mandated woolen jumpers that we all get under communism.
Yeah, the genderless exactly.
Yeah.
And you have to dye them black because Pol Pot said so, basically, and Pol Pot is definitely communism.
I want to read DJ Che's comment because I think they clarified the whole deal. The Queen was paying for his defense, and the new news is that the Queen was paying hush money so the woman doesn't ruin the Queen's party. So
there you go. Yeah,
more money on top of the money already given for not only the defense but now hush money. I'm gonna say it. I don't like the Queen. I don't like her.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean,
whoa.
I'm gonna, I
don't want to be like a crass American, but she does not.
What?
I don't like her. No, to the Queen.
So brave. Why would you say something so controversial and so brave?
I'm gonna say, my people haven't always, had a great relationship with with the British, with the royals, with the Queen, and what she represents. Obviously don't like to see an old person, like sick and dying or whatever like that. But also, like it doesn't really. No, like it doesn't weigh on me,
They're not tugging your heartstrings, Tim.
Also,
yeah, we're not talking about Betty White. She's not Betty White.
But also, I know we're spending way too long on this topic, but I have to ask: is the Queen even doing the things? Do we have confirmation the Queen is I hear this and I'm signing this, or is it just the Queen?
Yeah. It is like a nebulous. It is kind of like a nebulous position because there is not really.
Yeah, she exists.
There's not much. Whenever there's footage of it, it's kind of like Bigfoot sightings. That's what it feels like on the news. It's like, they've spotted her coming out of Windsor Castle. They're like, oh my God, great film. Because these journalists are desperate to get $1,000 for this footage of the Queen just being outside. And it's so they don't really get her sitting down signing things or doing things. It's just oh, well, she's going to go. They'll film her for PR stunts, for example. I don't doubt she's done something with Maori people, Tim, where she's
oh yeah, no, she has she'll come and there'll be a little customary kind of thing or whatever like that. There's a couple of royals that come over the years, but it's all kind of it's kind of cringe, and it's a lot of they're really kind of it's just it'll be run by some tourist business or something like Tamaki Maori village or whatever like that will have a greeting or whatever. But I mean there is obviously respects paid by actual if she's coming into an area, the tribe will actually welcome her in, sort of thing, because even if you see her as the head of the evil empire or whatever like that, we still have kind of protocol for extending respect and all that kind of stuff.
That makes sense.
But
yeah.
But I don't know, I don't think it's one of those things where it's most people I know that are kind of politically most Maori that are politically aware or whatever are opposed to what we refer to as the crown, or that anything that is I guess Pākehā government and everything like that is kind of referred to as the crown, and it's not so much the individual, I don't think any royal would ever be at risk of getting jumped or whatever like that, but the institution that they represent or whatever is kind of I guess considered an enemy to a lot of people over here.
For sure. And that's why it's so horrific, because it's these PR stunts of indigenous people that have been fucking systematically
they'll take a photo and they're look, it's imperialism, colonialism, it's over. There's this photo of one of the princes coming and shaking hands with some dude or whatever like that. But
absurd. I've seen pictures of Prince William being carried on a fucking throne by black people. It's horrific. Gross. It's absolutely heinous. So if you're confused about the Queen and you're from America, she's bad. She's bad.
You reckon they're just gonna do the the Michael Jackson Tupac hologram thing and see if they can get away with it? She might not even be still around, right?
The thing is
it's been a while since the last public appearance, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's so it is an interesting thing, because I know a lot of British political commentators on Twitter have been talking about, if the Queen actually dies, the country might finally lose its mind more than it ever has done before, because there are so many people who are they are you say, Tim, sort of, they cling on to this image of the Queen as if she's protecting us from horrific government and stuff. So there are people who are moderate left who love her to bits and think that she's really good, and there are people who are moderate right and then further right who are just don't say anything about the Queen, she's perfect kind of thing. And if that happens, it will, I don't know, it's literally she's been there for so long. And nobody gives a shit about Prince Charles. No one cares. He's just a weirdo. He doesn't. He's the most British thing in the world is when people make threads about Prince Charles's weird hands. He's just got weird hands. What? And British people are just what's up with his hands? What's going on there? You know, they just don't give a shit. So it's really, really fucked. Yeah, so it is going to be interesting to see what happens if she does die. I don't like speculate people dying really, but you know,
Yeah. I mean, it's like one of those things where it's like, I mean, everyone, even before the COVID thing, everyone's been like, yeah, she's going to be gone, you know, any day soon anyway, you know? It's like kind of like, it's been coming for a while. It's absolutely, oh, what? Oh, he does a weird hand.
It looks like he's wearing a skin suit.
I just think it might be gout. I just think he might have gout.
Yeah, it does look like, like a medical.
No, I think it's a skin suit. I'm pretty sure it's a skin suit. I don't know. I don't know.
And as you will soon find out, you cannot defeat an enemy that you cannot see.